Now, to begin with, may I request Dayanand ji to share some of his memories from those days during the preparation to the Auroville Day. What all went through in ashram and what were his experiences around this?
Hello, can you hear me? Good morning, welcome. All of you know me because we lived together for 54 years. 54 years we have lived together. We may not have talked to each other frequently, but we have lived together. So I don't know what left for me to tell you. I saw the fossil on which mother had returned home. This is the fossil. These are the fossils I had taken to the mother, from which she chose that. These are the remaining fossils. They are all 20 million year old. At that time, I mean, people, most of them must have just stamped on them and gone. For me, it was like a call. This fossil hit me on my toe when I was doing survey work at the amphitheater, and blood was coming. So I picked up the fossil. It was heavy, so I kept it in my pocket, went to the banyan tree, washed my wound, and then washed the fossil. If you see the fossil, you will see that there are rings. You will see clearly there are rings in the fossil, indicating how many years it has lived, what time it had, good times, bad times. Everything is recorded in this fossil. So when I hold this fossil, I went to a sort of state of consciousness which I could not speak. I can't speak if I hold this fossil. It's surprising that I want to present this to the foundation, give it to the secretary, the remaining 2-3 pieces that are left after mother choosing the thing. Would you like to accept them, madam? Huh? Madam, the other thing is where to start exactly. The work before the start of the urn was to buy the land. To buy the land and make Auroville composite. You are aware, even now you are having the problem of not having the complete inner circle. At that time in 1966, I want to talk to you about a person who has never been spoken about in the media or anywhere. At that time in 1966, a person called Mrs. Anjani Dayanand IAS was secretary in Tamil Nadu government. She approached the Chief Minister, Mr. Bhaktavachalam, and she prepared a plan for acquiring the inner circle. It was approved by the Chief Minister of Bhaktavachalam. Orders were issued to the Collector Kadulu to survey and hand over the land to Auroville. All these problems would have disappeared. But there were some objections from somebody, and the whole thing got stalled. Now we are buying, I started buying in pieces, buying pieces and like that. So it could have, 66, she started, Anjani Dayanand, about whom nobody has said she can't speak because she was in the IAS. Then mother said, you come in 66 to Pondicherry on a lower grade than what she was. So preparing the inauguration. Because the officers of the Indian Administrative Service, those days, there was no media. You couldn't speak to the media. You had to do all the work from behind. The work for which you saw the transportation, all the licenses necessary from the one, all that is necessary the work was done by her. It's better you ask me, some things are flooding my mind. I don't know what to say, what not to say, so many things are flooding. Can you ask me something? It would be better than my narrating the same thing, taking, I took everything to the mother, from the fossils to leaves to beads. It's very difficult to speak. Certain things are incommunicable. You can't communicate through voice. You see, the incommunicable things I cannot express.
Your aspiration for the future of Auroville. What is your aspiration for the future of Auroville?
What is my aspiration for future of Auroville?
Yes.
There is no separate aspiration. Aspiration is combined with all the aspirations, like a big fire. All of us are aspiring. Into that fire of aspiration, I place my twig also. It's a joint aspiration. Only then the flame can burn brightly and reach the sky and get what is done. My aspiration is to give myself totally to her, and I have done it, and she has saved me from many things. So I don't have a separate aspiration from that of the divine. It is merged with what the divine wants me to be. That's all.
She's asking, in the desert land, there was no water. So what did Mother say about water?
No, it was not a desert land. I'm sorry, who has made this? It was a dry farming area. Otherwise, how could villagers survive? The villagers were there because dry farming was done by the villagers. Dry farming means Manavari in Tamil, Manavari. Depending on the clouds, you can raise 3 crops. I have raised 3 crops, depending on the monsoon. So these villagers also were raising. So they were agricultural fields, they were not deserts. That is why you see the absence of trees. How can there be? The purpose is different. It is for agriculture, the land is kept like that. But somebody came and said they all barren land, we came and planted, and although they were doing their job, they were making their living. They had left where trees had to be left, like on the bunds, they left all the palm trees. In the tops, they left the cashew, the mango trees they left. But they didn't leave. How can you leave any tree on the your agriculture farm? So there is a mistake there to say it's a desert farm. But the policy changed. They were using it for farming. When Auroville took over, there was nobody to do the farming. So automatically those seeds which were there in the farm, they grew up. They regenerated. Trees regenerate. If you study any ecosystem, what happens is, if you allow land to be barren, with the monsoon, the seeds already in the soil will spring up. The entire thing is regeneration. So regeneration, and because the estate manager knew all the people, no tree was cut by any villager. I have raised trees there. Not only that, at that 67, 68, we raised cash crops with seawater. We raised cash crops with seawater also for 3 years and harvested it. More questions? Please ask questions.
You have seen over the 54 years progress in Auroville. So according to your eyes, what kind of progress have you seen? No?
It has progressed as it should. It has progressed as it should. It depends on us, the quality of people, the commitment we have. There is nobody to blame. It all depends on us, you and me. Well, how much I am committed to Auroville. I was fully committed to Auroville. I resigned and joined Auroville. I gave, mother said, I have told this so many times. She said, cut, I will pay you. I will give the money you join. I came and started the bar. Then one day, suddenly in 73, 76, they say, you get out. Now, where will I go? I have nothing left. No, I left everything and came. I have no place to stay. So that's about, it is progressive. It has nothing to do with individuals. It has to do with the subtle forces behind man, who is using man for good as well as hostile purpose. Some are possessed by the divine, as a divine instrument. Some are possessed by hostile adverse forces. The various, it's a big thing, big jump. It can't be done easily. A big jump cannot be done easily. It will take step by step. Everything has to be taken into consideration. And the whole thing should move together. Individual progress is not, the weakest link should move together. We all should move together. It can't be individual moving together. You can't say, I have progressed, I have realized. That doesn't help. We have come for Auroville. Auroville is something new. And she had asked at that time, are you ready? She had written. And I had said yes. And she sent blessings. It is in 63. She has sent letters to everybody. It's an adventure. We don't know the destination. We don't know how. Will you come? She said, I said, yes, come.
Great.
Then borewells had to be dug. All borewells, both type, hand bore set and the drills has to be used. All the development work had to be done at that time.
I wanted to know, did the trees bring more rain once they came up? Because I was told the clouds actually get attracted by the vegetation.
Got it.
Is that true? Did we see that?
Yeah. So he's asking, because of the trees, did it attract more rain? Did it attract? Some people claim that the clouds started coming here because of the green cover and that they developed in Auroville. Is it big enough? Is it substantial enough?
You see, rain, you can't say there is a minimum area which can invite rain. I can't tell you, say that 1 acre of land fully wooded will invite rain. There is no limit. The limit is the aspiration of the person who has grown that. It all depends on the inner aspiration to invoke what is there to come down. It is there. You want the rain to fall, it depends on your aspiration. I can give you a personal example, because why I am saying, because I said aspiration. Long ago, I talked to you about Anjani. She had a heart attack, severe heart attack. And I was here and she was in Chennai. What happened was, the plant that I was growing which had flowers, all the flowers fell down on the ground at the same time. The connection, I am telling you, the connection between plant and man. I am here in Pondicherry, she is in hospital in Chennai. And I was told that all the flowers drooped down and fell. The plant knew what I was going through. So I asked Satya at that time, Satya was the only man, please take a photograph. So it is the communication, intercommunication. Don't go by externals. Don't judge. Everything depends on your inner fire. If the inner fire is burning, all obstacles will go away. That fire should never, nobody can touch it. It's an immortal fire.
Great. So one last question perhaps. I think you raised your hand. Yeah.
So any significance or symbolic
Meaning, okay. Is there any symbolic meaning or significance to this particular geographic area of Auroville? Why it was selected and how it came about? Selection of this area. Urn, mainly the urn, the center of Auroville.
No. Selection of area, mother said, first thing was she was in a great hurry. Mother was in a great hurry in the 60s. She said it had descended. The whole thing has been formed and descended and had come down. It's a subtle physical. She was in a hurry, buy the land, somewhere where there is water. So we thought Lake Estate is the nearest source of water. So we bought all the land in Pattanur and Pooturai. But that was not enough. So we changed to this side, Irumbai, Kuelapalayam and all that. So first the indication she gave was it should be close to the source of water. Yes, water should be the...
Great. Super. Thank you. Great. Thank you very much.
If it is sin means it was not a healthy season. So now you can count from inside, you have to go outside to know the age of this plant. You can count and tell what is the age of the plant, how was the situation, how was the temperature. It was the best temperature at that time. Cool, full of only trees and herbs, and no apes, no monkeys, that 20 million years ago. So all this I gave to the mother. Then she chose that one, a big one in there written Om.
Okay.
Yes. Because this is too small.
Can I?
Take it together.
Yeah.
Joint hands. Thank you. One to Srinivasa.
My point is, I still don't understand why the fossil wood had to wait 20 million years to hit my toe and to be picked up. There were so many people walking without bothering, kicking it away and going. It happened that it had to wait 20 million years, strike my toe, and I picked it up, knowing paleontology, because I knew about fossils. That's why I took it up. Others would have just pushed it away and gone. So many people must have walked on it for centuries, years, it must be there. It was my destiny to pick it up.
The stories are really awesome, and I really feel bad stopping him here. But the time is short, and I would like to also hear from other people.